Hey, good morning. Peter again, and there's Pam.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Pam's
How's
getting.
everybody today? Sorry, I just working around my house.
Yeah.
Actually, my house more like a resort house.
Actually, she's just being real. She's out. She loves to get a stretch and be around all the green and the trees. And these are all of Pam's flowers. We have a spa in there, but we don't have the fountain on today. These are all her creations that she's put together, and she's always working on this on the weekend and in the morning. So that's what she does for a little R&R, and so yes, right here out in the front of the house, the earth is settling, the ground is cracking. But anyway, I'm going to hop on my bike and hop in the pool a little later, but I just want to take you on a ride through the village here, through the gated community, if you will. But it's what it is. It's very nice, and you'll see it's very quiet and green. So I just hop on my bike like I do every day. I don't know what happened to the camera. It seems to have washed out. Chill it down a little bit. Seems faded. There we go. The waterfall. It's after 8 a.m. They shut the waterfalls off. So these are the cars coming through the village. In the morning, people going to work. My company is just about 6 minutes from here to get into a good conversation and visit. So I like to drive through this village in the morning on my bike. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they're everywhere. It's like a jungle. Somebody's got their swimming pool over there in their house. Sounds like a nice waterfall. There probably is on the other side. I've never been over there. So I wanted to talk about energy today. How we keep up our energy, how we get our energy. And I think it's really, we get our energy by living into like what we want to do and what really are the things that matter to us. Someone might call them our passions, right? Things we love to do. That excites us. So, I'm not going to take you too far down through here. They are trimming the greens and keeping things in order. There's only one, I'll pass it. So, we love these people here because they keep the village clean. All the trees are trimmed and the flowers blossoming in May. It's just amazing. So this is the end of the road in one of these little streets. Good morning. Some of the regulars out having a walk. For as many people that live here, gyms and whatnot, but I don't see a lot of people out here. But this is a Lilawadi tree. And when you ride under that, it's so fragrant, it's like an aromatherapy treatment. And here's another one. So I take some nice, deep, relaxing breaths while riding the bike, because this gets me charged for the day, and do a little meditation on the way. But I do a lot of stretching while I'm on the bike, not while I have the phone in my hand, because it makes it a little bit difficult, and you're going to have a jerky ride. rain, so it's fresh, clean, and it didn't rain for a couple of months. The Thai day, I've been living it for 30-something years, has taught me a lot. I came here, I definitely had culture shock working with my team and my company for 4 years. And then one day I decided no matter how I react or how I ask, the job's going to get done. But it's going to get done in Thai time. So once I make that realization, I apply the upside of that to the business and to my daily activities, and life is wonderful. So rather than trying to do it my way, which is what I was doing when I first came here, I did it speed bumps, the best way. And the best way is when the team and I are in synchronicity. And the best way to go through life is when we're in synchronicity. So it's kind of like one of the projects I'm working on with John Ted and a lot of other people in the world. He's a proponent of, and he makes it big. He plays the game big. He manages events, the ADEX Dive show around all of Asia, and promotes clean oceans, no plastic. And the last show, there's always something plastic for sale, but the last show in Singapore I went to, there was no plastic. And so taking the synchronicity out into the world in everything that we do helps us influence people. And if we come with a big stick and saying, oh, do it my way, there's only one way, which I see a lot of that in America going on, it's either this way or it's that way. There seems to be no discussion. Like, you're totally wrong even if you're not wrong. And I'm totally right even if I'm not right. And I think there's a lot of ego. That reminds me of this kind of challenge I had when I first got to Thailand. The culture shock, I guess. And what I learned, again, from the Thai is just sit in the moment. The answer will come. It always comes. In business, in everything. So that's why my stress level is so far down, because I learned one time when I first started a business I had in Key West, Florida, importing nautical furniture from Taiwan, and I was all worried about how it was going to be labeled made in Taiwan, but the guy had been exporting for years, no big deal. But for me, it was a new venture, and I was like freaking out. And I'm thinking myself sick for 3 weeks until I forgot about it. And the next thing I know, the shipments in America cleared through customs and everything's cool. So the solution will come rather than us trying to force it. Yes, do we need to address it? Yes. Do we need to think about it? Yes. Do we need to write things down? Yes. And oh man, more flowers. Oh my God. So fragrant. Wow, because it's not windy today. So back to the point of planning or getting something done. We force it, we want it in our time, but guess what? God's time, the universe's time, the real time is the best time for us. It's something I've discovered. Like, I want it now, or I want this and I want that. No. Peter, what you're going to get is something better. Better, all the time. If you don't get what you want. So, way back in the early 80s, I learned that. Thank God, because I've gone through life with this attitude that it's okay, life is good. Back to the Thai day. In 1989, there was terrible flooding in southern Thailand. I'll never forget the picture on the front of the Bangkok Post. This woman with her noodle cart, because it was a devastating flood, she's up to her waist in water. And she's cooking probably pad thai or some noodles. Big smile on her face, and the general and his colonel or whatever with him in the rowboat inspecting the area. She's looking at them in that direction. And my thoughts were, for the caption of that picture was, well, they have a saying here in Thailand, "Mai Pen Rai," like, never mind, because it will always end up good. Maybe not the way you want it, but the best way. So I said, wow, I love that. The water comes and the water will go. So she could sit there, I mean, on the top of her roof crying with her kids and not do anything, but she's out there making a living, cooking, helping people, feeding people with a big smile on her face. So I've written a little thing in the Thai Day about a little summary. And Thailand's motto is the land of smiles. And it really is. And even if they don't want to smile, they smile. And it raises the bar every time. Okay, I understand. You don't always have to smile, smile, smile. But I tell you what, I also saw a cassette tape years ago called The Smile Millionaire by one of my most favorite authors. Never met him. Read a lot of his books. Yogananda Paramahansa. Paramahansa Yogananda. Sorry, I got it backwards. He has a little book called The Law of Success. And I've read that 100 times if I read it once. Little skinny book. I love little skinny books. They have like quotes, okay, but a little better than quotes, like a bunch of little parables. Oh yeah, this is really cool. Look at these flowers every morning. Calming, naturally, in the subconscious. You know, they're beautiful. So the road is lined with these trees. So this is about how busy the traffic gets on this road. So if you wonder why I don't have a helmet on, I don't. It's more comfortable. I do when I'm riding in America. Because I do. Yeah, there's a lot more traffic where I ride. And a lot more hills and rocks. I ride a little differently. But anyway. On this road. But back to the Thai Day attitude. The Thai people. And people are people around the world, but as a culture, having traveled to over 100 countries, I have a little bit of insight. So for example, I lived in Taiwan close to a month back in the 70s, 80s. Work done, hand-carved stonework done. I went all over Taiwan, and the culture is brash. Go to Hong Kong, the culture is brash, pushy. I mean, some people talk about New York, but New Yorkers out in their groups, people are very warm people. Well, you catch them on the street. I mean, everybody on the street in New York, they got a mission. They're going somewhere. I kind of get that. You can't stop and smile at a million people on the way to work, but you can't keep up presence and not be looking at the ground, but be bringing some sunshine to others. And I think that's what's really important. matter what we do in our day, every person that we come across, every person, everyone. For example, these women are out here every day sweeping up these flowers. By the way, good morning. This one woman lives in a lean-to down by the stream. So if you think you got it tough, or anybody thinks they have it tough, nah. Her husband left her or something. Her kid is probably not totally there. A little bit off, but very nice kid. And they're here. So when we engage eye contact, a little smile, let them know their value. People want recognition. It's not on the stage. The stage is wonderful, but the stage is temporary. What about the day-to-day stuff? It's kind of like, people going to church on Sunday for 1 hour. Like, be good 1 hour. The rest of the time, let's just be, who cares? I care. I hope you care. And that's what I'm going to be talking about, is congruency and how we really go through the day. Not complaining. Finding the good. Where the good exists, because the good exists everywhere. But if you don't ever dig deep enough to find it, or you want to join a group, just say it's no good, even if it's not good. I mean, that's really bad, because that's just like the mad crowd mentality. Get the baseball bats, hang them, and you don't even know who the person is. Hang them, lynch them. You don't even know anything about it. I see so much. So-and-so said, this person said, these people say. I'm like, how do you know? I even say to my wife, I say, says something. She never met the person before and has an opinion. I'm like, well, how do you know? How do you know that? We don't know anything. My daughter asked me a question. I'm like, well, Brina, I don't really know. I can't give you an answer to something that I know very little about. I can not even pretend. I can respond like, oh yeah, well this is that, and that's that, and this person is, and on and on and on. And I am so wrong. So wrong. And one thing I learned as I got older, maybe wiser, but one thing I learned was I don't know much. I don't know hardly anything. And I'm riding out, well, I almost got that little point there. Maybe I do need that helmet. Anyway, look at those beautiful flowers. So, I've accomplished a lot. I've built companies. But I don't know much. But I know what I know, which is very little in the grand scheme of this big, huge, timeless, endless universe that I connect with every day and use the mind. The mind directs me. The mind is my admiral. I am the captain of my life. The mind is my admiral, guides me. Oh, Peter, you change. You do this, you do that. Like when I had a company, I did a lot of stuff. And I had a big team, and like they knew that we'd always be there for change. Why? Ready, shoot, aim. So we did something, we tried it, we got feedback, then we started aiming at what it is we're after. Only when we get results, only when we know something, only when we know someone can we invite them in our lives in a way that is synchronous. When we know something, we know how to approach people in a gentle, in a bold, in a how do we go through life. What I always say, keep the smile in the day and have fun. Get a joke into whatever her, my wife knows. I just think I'll go into a little store or shop or out in the marketplace, even in Thai. I get a smile. Some people don't get it because they're too serious, and that's okay. You know, we're all where we are, but the idea is put effort